A man with Down syndrome has defied the odds and credits his faith for his success. Mark Hublar is now a motivational speaker and an advocate for others with Down syndrome to join the workforce. He even inspired his own brother Greg to write a book about his life called A Miracle Named Mark. They are both joining us now. So let's start with you, Greg. You wrote in your book when Mark was born that your parents were actually encouraged to take him to an institution, but they decided against that, raising him as a child of God. Tell us how faith has played a role in shaping who Mark is today.
Yeah, faith was a major role for my parents as well as our entire family. When Mark was born, the term Down syndrome didn't even exist. They said, your son has Mongolism. And they had no idea what that meant. And they said that anybody in this situation definitely needs to be put into an institution because they'll essentially ruin your family. My parents were told that Mark would never walk, he would never talk, he'd never show any emotion, he'd live in a vegetative state, and that it just wouldn't do any good to take him home. So based on faith, they had no other recourse except for faith in making the decision to take him home and raising him as a child of God.
Wow. And Mark, I know you travel the country as a motivational speaker for Friends Like Me, advocating for employment with people with disabilities. Can either of you talk about the message you bring with you? You know, what do you want people to know?
I want everybody to know in this world that people with disabilities, Down syndrome, can do everything what they can do for you.
Yeah, anybody with disabilities, they can do anything they want, especially Down syndrome.
There's a few things people need to know. When I talk about ROI.
ROI.
And that's respect, opportunity, and inclusion. And people with Down syndrome, they can do anything. They can get married. They can go to college and drive. I went to college, and I do have a disability. Well, the doctor says, well, we're not going to let you be a college student. So I want to be like my brothers did. They graduated from college, all three of them.
And so did you.
But me, I come along because I was part of the Dallas Louisville College Connection. So that's what I went to college.
Mark has done basically everything that we've done, his other three brothers. It's been incredible.
Yeah, and you said that, Greg, you didn't even know he had Down syndrome when you were a child, right?
I didn't know till about the fifth grade. We were,
Wow.
I mean, we were never taught to treat him any different. Therefore, I'll put it in nice terms, we would wrestle as hard with each other as we would the other brothers as well. So we had no idea.
So tell us, what inspired you to write this book about Mark?
Well, about 10 years ago, the Lord put on my heart that I need to write this book to get the story out. And I said, okay. And almost immediately, 13 chapter titles came to me, and I got a pen and pencil, wrote them down, waited to hear from the Lord, didn't hear for a while, put it in the drawer. That was about 8 years ago. Then about a year and a half ago, he said, hey, remember that book? And I'm like, Lord, I remember you telling me. But anyway, long story short, those are the same 13 chapters. So definitely God inspired and led to tell the story.
And when is Mark's next event?
Mark, unfortunately, because of COVID, has really kind of been limited on his exposures. But I believe August is when he's going to have another, maybe August, September up in Indianapolis. So we're going to get back out there real quick.
Oh, that's great to hear. And how can people get a copy of your book?
If they go to markjhublerspeaks.com, that's the best way to do it. It's got his life story, a lot of different awards and accolades, and a page to purchase his book.
Wow, it really is a great story. Mark Hublar, motivational speaker for Friends Like Me, and brother Greg Hublar, author of A Miracle Named Mark. Thanks for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for more information about Mark's upcoming motivational events and to get a copy of A Miracle Named Mark, head on over to markjhublerspeaks.com.